Welcome to
MIA2K.
Your ticket from Miami to Seoul.
We're Kathy and Laura, and we're so happy you could join us today.
You probably know us from, just kidding, you don't know us yet. We're just two Miami girls with obsessive fandom tendencies who fell into the inescapable void of Korean entertainment. And we're here to share our insights and spill all the tea only grown fans like us can enjoy.
We've done all the research and acclimating so you don't have to. Before we begin, please make sure you're following us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And if you love visuals like us, you can watch us on our YouTube channel. We drop episodes with our hot and sunny takes every week.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It might not be morning time for you, but it is very morning time for us because we bought tickets to witness the second fan meeting from Stray Kids. And we failed a little bit in that mission. We wrongly assumed, based on past concerts and experiences that we've watched when they happen in Korea, they kind of usually happen around 5 in the morning here.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, see you at 4:30. We woke up and both of us like thought about it at that moment. Like, is it really at 5? Did we confirm that it was at 5? It was not. It was at 3.
Yeah.
So we would have been up since 3 in the morning had we done things right.
Yeah.
But we were not.
Yeah.
So we missed half the show.
We did.
But that's okay. I'm pretty happy with the half that we caught.
I'm cool with that.
And there's going to be a video on demand, VOD, on March 5th, which Laura's going to catch because I'll be out of town, and she'll record it and send it to me on a folder.
Just kidding, JYP. We won't record it.
That's not what I said at all. Forget. I'm really, like, we're running on 1 hour of sleep, which is actually very usual for us. It's not that different. But today, I actually woke up with an alarm instead of before the alarm.
I woke up by myself because I forgot to set an alarm, which, again, is very on par with how I am.
Yeah. So, anyway, we planned this ahead. Laura slept over. And we woke up late, but we still got to catch the second half of the Stray Kids Chocolate Factory. Or is it Love Factory?
No, it's Chocolate.
Chocolate Factory.
Love Factory seems a bit X-rated there.
Yeah. Which is their second fan meeting that they've had since they debuted. And they had a lot of fans there. Yeah. Korean fans, I think, to begin with, are into screaming too much other than, like, the fan chants for the songs, but because of COVID and stuff, they couldn't really scream or anything, so they just had these like gigantic fan clappers, and that would not work in Latin America.
No.
Or here in Miami. So anyway, Laura and I had been saving our opportunity to talk about Stray Kids for today. So we have spoken about them briefly before when we shared our biases with you in our prior episode. So you know that I am Changbin biased and Laura is Hyunjin biased. And that's just the beginning. The group as a whole are amazing. There are 8 members. We love them. And we're just going to do a quick speed round, legit 30 seconds per member. Not 30 minutes. I'm delirious. Don't pay attention to me. 30 seconds per member to just give you a quick rundown of who they are, their names, and why we're obsessed with them. And that's it. So I'll start with the leader, Bangchan. He's a leader. He's an Aussie. He was born in Korea, moved to Australia when he was really young until he was about 13. And then he auditioned, got scouted, and went back to Korea, became a trainee. Was a trainee for 7 years. And is the only trainee basically in the history of all of K-pop that was given the reins by the company to form the group himself, because he just clearly has the eye and the talent and the knowledge. So he put 8 other members together. Now they're 8 total because 1 member left in 2019. And he's incredible. He's very talented. He's a singer. He can rap. Not a rapper, though. That's another episode that you will see at another point later on. And he's great. We are obsessed with him. Next, we have Lino. He is the second oldest. He is a total tsundere person that is hard on the outside, very hard on the outside, and is just really delicious in his dancing. He has great thighs because of his dancing. He used to be a backup dancer for BTS before he auditioned to become an idol himself. and he's out here to destroy all of us. And he's dieting very hard right now because he wants a six-pack, so we all should be very worried for our lives. Then we have Changbin. He is one of the main rappers of the group. There's a subunit within Stray Kids called Three Racha, which is how the group actually formed, and the three of them are the ones that write their lyrics and produce their songs for the most part. So it is composed by the leader Bangchan, Changbin, and another member that Laura will talk about later named Han. So Changbin is my bias, as I mentioned earlier, which means that he's my favorite in the group. He's a rapper. He's also a little bit hard and just easy to tease, but he's actually a super softie, and he's a genuinely good person and very emotional, and I love him. And he's a Leo, and he's the reason why I am a problem today. So his tight pants today undid me. Yeah. They were too much for me.
The next one is Hyunjin, right? In terms of age, he's my bias. He's perfect. He was made for the women and the gays. He's a great dancer, performer. So the next one is Han. He is part of Three Racha. He's the third member of Three Racha. He's a singer, rapper, all around perfect idol. He's super talented. He has really big cheeks.
Gorgeous cheeks. They call him Quokka, based on this squirrel type of animal from Australia or from New Zealand, that area. And he looks just like them, especially when he eats.
Yeah, he's
so cute.
He's literally, I think, the epitome of what an idol should be in terms of talent.
He can do it all.
And he's my personal favorite singer, even though he's technically a rapper. His voice, has a lot of emotion, and I like it. Then after that would be...
We have Felix. So Felix is an Australian as well. He actually was born in Australia, from my understanding, and then came to Korea later on, auditioned to join the group. The group was formed through a reality show where they already kind of had been formed, but through the show they had to have drama and tea and whatever. So both Lino and Felix got kicked out momentarily by the company owner, who is a douchebag, and it was just to be like, psych, they'll be back, they'll be here. And it was a big thing because of the Aussie bond between Bangchan and Felix. So Felix is great, ethereal looks, gorgeous dancer, has the voice of a 350-pound 6'7" man, but he's a tiny, frail little fairy.
Yeah.
And cooking like a chef on a 5-star Michelin will forever be one of the best quotes of our lives.
It's true. Then after that, we get to the two youngest, Seungmin, who is the voice of the group. He has the best vocal chops, I think you would say.
Absolutely.
He is described as a puppy, and it makes sense, but also not, because he's super sassy, and I don't feel like puppies are that sassy.
Depends on the puppy, I would say.
That's true. He's
the breed.
He's I feel like everybody's the member's favorite member. Does that make sense?
Ayan is everyone's favorite member.
But he's the maknae. It's different.
Yeah.
But he's all around really adorable.
Yeah.
And then finally the maknae, who is adorable. But actually, his name is Ayan. I think he has so much potential. I think with a couple of years and improvement, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, he's grown a lot.
Yeah.
And he has way more potential to reach, higher potential to reach. He's
still missing a little bit of the confidence in someone like Chan has, who was a trainee for freaking 7 years. He could have debuted with GOT7. But yeah, Ayan is super adorable. He is actually the member's favorite member. They're all obsessed with him. And he's the cutest maknae ever.
Agreed. He's a maknae that feels like a maknae, is a maknae, and is treated like the maknae, and no one's more maknae than him.
No.
Maybe Bangchan when he's 5. I'm 5. You look up those clips, please, and enjoy them.
So, as we mentioned, we woke up late by mistake. So we only caught the second half of it. But I think we caught a good second half, because we were still able to listen to some of our favorite songs. Yeah. So that was kind of nice.
It was. I think the obvious ones that we missed at the beginning were Thunderous, Domino, and I think they probably did their newer stuff in the first half. We don't know how long the variety show segment was, but I would say we missed probably about 6, 7, 8 songs.
Yeah.
So we missed quite a bit, but it's okay. We actually got really good songs in our section, so we're not mad about it because those are the songs that got us into them.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. We did catch like a tiny bit of the little portion with JJ, which is cute.
I love her.
We love her. She's such a good MC. Like, she knows what she's doing.
Laura started sending me her content when we were watching another group's marathon of their stuff, and I really like her. She doesn't fit the typical Korean MC woman standard, and she's so funny. She's so quick. And I love that they gave her that opportunity to MC that event with them because I know she brought a lot to it.
Yeah, I agree. The first song that we saw was Double Knot. It was good.
It was amazing. They really brought their power with their choreo, which we know that they're very powerful performers. We loved Stray Kids from before, but seeing them in Kingdom last year, they definitely earned that win. Yeah. Their performances are so good.
So good.
They are explosive. They take up the whole stage, and they are just absolute kings of being idols, and they really do it well.
The only thing that I would say was a little bit jarring about the second half was I think the songs that they like performed in the second half were a bit of their stronger songs.
Yeah.
So the stage decoration or the stage, how do you say that?
Yeah, the set
didn't really match, so that was kind of jarring a little bit.
They had the chocolate factory set up in the background, so it's like love, stay, and then it's like
and then they're wearing like the leather outfits and whatever, super dark, whatever, and then it's all pink in the background. So that was a little bit weird, but that's not something in their control. Then we also saw, I already mentioned God's Menu, Backdoor, and Scars, which were the ones that we were looking forward to. Yeah. There were a couple others that we also saw, but those were the highlights for me.
Yeah, I'll speak for myself. I don't have a super in-depth knowledge of Stray Kids' entire discography. I've listened to most of their songs at one point or another, but not like studying and trying to get it. So a couple of the songs that we saw today seemed like there was a good mix of like going back a little bit, and I didn't know those as well, but it was really good to see the performance side of it. So
I am not ashamed to say that I love Stray Kids, not so much for their music, which sounds a little weird, but I like them for their personality and their talent. Their songs are good, and when they're good, they're really fucking good, but they wouldn't be the first ones that I would gravitate towards too.
For me, they are.
Yeah.
My second top musical. I mean, right now it's very tough competition with ATEEZ for the second spot musically in my heart. But I did at the beginning resist them quite a bit because they were very strong on the EDM licuadora, aka blender side. But I really like that, and I just had to get past the barriers that I set up for myself that I was not interested in their music, but I really was, and then they became my top for that. Love their personalities as well.
So good.
They're one of those groups that you can tell they genuinely get along for the most part, and that I want them to have a long career as a group because I think that they make fire music.
They're definitely the powerhouse of the fourth gen. Like, I know ATEEZ is a really strong contender, and I know Tomorrow by Together is too. But for me, the kings of the fourth gen are Stray Kids.
Yeah, I don't know if Korea agrees with us.
I don't think so.
I think Stray Kids is very aware of the things that are said about their music because their music has been called construction music. Yeah. And they get a lot of hate, and a lot of people don't credit them as much for how good they are. And I think they actively take on those rumors or those misconceptions about them, and they turn them into good music, which is awesome. I really love the fact that, they came out with Noisy last year.
Yeah, that was great.
Which was a slap in the face to anyone that called them construction music makers or whatever. I love that. And the fact that their title single was thunderous.
Yeah.
To just kind of be like, yeah, bitch, I'm loud. And like,
that album was definitely my favorite one that they've put out. It had everything that you would ever need from an album.
It was really good. The B-side songs were great too. For me, actually, I really liked their Christmas mini album. I actually really, really enjoyed it. They made a Christmas song that has zero Christmas vibes and you can listen to all year long. They made a winter loneliness song, which I love and I'm really obsessed with right now. Actually, currently stuck in my head. And they made like a very actual Christmassy Christmas song from like the 24th to 25th. And I love the way that they always make Stay, which is their fandom name, a part of their music also. One of the songs, so they have a song called Scars that they released originally in Japanese and then they released it in Korean. And today's the first time that I saw the performance for it because usually they're just like sitting on chairs when they sing it. So seeing the song performed is crazy because it has such like strong and like energetic movements for such a like heartfelt emotional song like that's Stray Kids, and that's what I think is their signature, that they will if they had like a waltz they would go crazy and it would be like trap EDM ultra like
I agree. I also, we were watching the show and I don't remember why I said, man, I really like EXO, and then 2 seconds later, they do the cover of Call Me Baby, and it was perfect.
I think
it was
Laura
everything that I wanted.
Laura screaming goes, put up the volume! And I was like, okay, calm down. It was great.
So
well, as soon as, because it's a great song. Like, I think it actually fits them quite well.
It does.
And they had their little jackets to kind of bring their age up a little more and look more serious. Because I think they usually stick to, like, GOT7 or other JYP groups, so for them to do an EXO cover was actually like pretty funny, crazy, wild. I don't know what to say.
It was so good. Hyunjin had Kai's part and it was perfect.
It was perfect. It just made sense.
It made so much sense.
It really did.
I remember when he was emceeing and he had to interview Kai, he was about to die. It was the cutest thing ever.
I mean, I think for most people that are like dance heavy today, Kai Seungmin is just it. And Taemin, of course, but
mostly
all of them, but just because of
Kai.
Yeah, I think that they stand out a lot. And I'll say also, it was kind of sad that we got the news earlier in the week that Felix was not going to be dancing today because he has a herniated disc or
I think
something wrong with his back. So he's not in terrible amount of pain during daily activity. So he was able to be on the stage and stand up, and he was kind of on the side, like the voice of God, which makes sense for his voice.
It really does.
Like his contributions, and the camera would just pan to him with his gravitas of a throat.
Yeah, it was great.
And the members kept going to him to like make him feel included whenever they had like cute. A little bit of a break. But get better, Felix. Be healthy and hope that you're okay by the time that you guys go on tour, which we know will be soon.
Yeah, and then we also saw the Ment at the very end, and they spoke for like 45 minutes.
It was a little long.
It was 45 minutes. Like they went over for 30 minutes of when they were supposed to finish.
Yeah.
But they spoke for 45 because they started talking like a good 10, 15 minutes before their time was up. Yeah. And it was a lot.
It was a lot. I think today was the first time that they had any sort of interactions with their own fandom alone for the first time in 2 years. Because I think the awards that they did in December and stuff, it was like a mixed fandom audience, obviously. So it's not just Stay. So I think they were just like, they had a concert yesterday, they had one today, and they just didn't want to get off the stage. And they really just kept talking. And it was cute. Yeah. But it got like, because it was like the 8 of them would say something and then it would go back to again, start with and I was like, okay, guys, wrap it up. And they're like, we don't want to leave.
And the problem was, for example, for like, let's say Changbin, the subtitles were right next to his arms.
Oh, yeah.
It was very hard to like focus on what he was saying when they were like rolling right on top of the arms. And he was doing his little pose where like you can tell he's trying to show off his arms. Yeah. And it's like, bro,
for someone who is Changbin biased, and also something to know about me, I love men's arms. Like when I like a guy, his arms are probably one of the first things that I look at. So it was over for me right then and there. And definitely was not looking at the subtitles. I have no idea what he said.
I have no idea what they all said, to be quite honest.
The funniest part of the Mets for me was when, so all the fans, again, they couldn't scream. Oh, they're live right now.
Oh.
They're live. It's Chan's room. Let's see if, 1 second, if they're all together or if it's just him. So the leader, Bang Chan, actually goes live every single weekend, which is
a lot.
Insane. No one does that. It's him by himself. He actually did his live last week as a radio live because he don't want to show his hair. So they always like to surprise us for comebacks and stuff, but
because they showed a new side of the
because they show us a new side of themselves every
literally
time.
Just a dyed hair and a burned scalp.
Poor scalp. Rip scalp. Yeah. So, but anyway, the funniest moment for the Mets for me was the fans were, I don't know if they're given or if they buy at the beginning of the concert. Korean fans don't, again, they don't tend to be overwhelming like Latin American fans that scream and, have my baby and whatever. Korean fans have signs and they're like, marry me. They're cute. So they also had, because of COVID, the restrictions, they can't scream. They had these fans that turn into clappers. So like they could hit really hard and that's how they were able to kind of get feedback to the members. So at some point, Hyunjin, like the members themselves got hands on the fans, and Hyunjin goes, "Wow, this is really hard. Do your hands hurt from clapping?" And they go, like all the fans were like, "Ah, bah, 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 bah." Like, yeah, it really hurt, and it was so funny. Laura and I just died because it was the masochism of it all from us and them in Korea also.
Another highlight of the Mets was it was at the end when they didn't want to get off stage, but they had to get off stage. Somebody had a sign that said, "Marry me, Han." And Han looks at it and he's like, "No, I'm sorry, my mom's here." And it was adorable.
Yeah, and they really made a point to look at the fans that were all the way in the back and try to have that connection. With them because it's harder. Yeah. And they took a selfie also, and the fans were quiet, and we were like, Miami could never.
Never.
Colombia could never.
Never.
Latin America, nope. Not, we were not born that day.
Not today.
Not that day. So, and Han almost cried also.
Oh my God.
Which broke us both. Because you can tell when an artist is being genuine with their tears and with like getting choked up and stuff. Like he actually didn't actually cry. Yeah. But he had to stop a couple times. Because he was like, I'm not trying to yeet my tears here. Like, he sucked them back in, which is, I am in total awe of his skills.
It was very cute.
It was super adorable.
I just wanted to put him in my pocket and take him everywhere.
Yeah. And I guess production also had like a little video for them.
Oh, yeah.
Where they took quotes from fans of like why they are fans and why they call themselves Stay. And the members, I think, got all choked up a little bit with that, too. It was very short. It was cute.
Yeah, it was cute. It was just enough. Yeah. Unlike the Mets, sorry. Yeah. Sorry about it.
Yeah. The Mets, we were tired. And we were like, we missed the whole show, but we got 45 minutes worth of Mets. So I guess that's what we got.
Yeah. At least we got something.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the concert, we got also the teaser for their comeback, their next comeback. So, as usual now, I think it's going to be a thing with them, play on words. Like last time, they said no easy, like it wasn't easy, but it was noisy, like the amount of noise that they make because they're loud. And now I saw the word ordinary, and I was like, oh, are they going to do a collab with Extraordinary Heroes? But no. So their new comeback and I guess mini album that they're going to drop next is called Ordinary because they're odd. Yeah. And also because they have this concept, I guess, that they did for the teaser where all of them disappeared and they're like missing, and the word odi in Korean is where. So I think it's a play on words, which they're again brilliant doing.
So good.
I think it's gonna be a part of their discography moving forward because
they did it with the Christmas Evil.
They did it with the Christmas Evil too.
Oh, of course, so good.
So I think the fact that they have a native or two native English speakers in the group is amazing for them to be able to, and the fact that Bangchan has like such a, I don't want to say control, but he really runs the musical shop with them. So,
and he has a brain. He's very, very, very smart.
Does have a brain. I stand.
Wow.
Like I'm a Ravenclaw. Wow. In case anybody was wondering how many fandoms I'm part of, it's all of them. So as a Potterhead, I'm a Ravenclaw, which means I really value intellect. And there's nothing I like more than a clever joke or an insult that you can't even tell it's an insult.
Oh my God.
It's a turn on for me, legit. Like I just admire it so much. It's something that I would like to acquire. And the way that Bangchan in real time manages to answer people in the most elegant, sophisticated way, where he makes his point and also makes them look bad from just not being as good as he is. And just like a simple example would be like somebody said his nose was big on a live. And he's like, yeah, my nose is big. My nose, yeah, totally. I have a big nose. You know what else is big? And he looks down and he goes, my feet. But it was just the way that he looked down, and we all know what he was actually talking about. So anyway, their next comeback, Ordinary, is going to come out March 18th. The teaser is great. So please look out with us for that, because we'll be very excited waiting for whatever they're going to drop. We know it's going to be great. And I think that basically wraps it up for us. So
thank you.
Thank you so much for watching us be a mess and delirious, because we haven't slept, as usually happens with us, but today is worse than usual. Anyway, we hope you enjoy. We hope you stan Stray Kids with us. We consider ourselves stay. Laura makes a lot of shirts. That she loves to make shirts for concerts and stuff like that. But now that we have so many groups that we stan, we also want to have something to wear when we talk about them. So she made these gorgeous shirts for us today with the Stray Kids logo, which is SKZ, and a circle. And then our MIA2K in the bottom. So, and she made it also to our color preference, because the Stray Kids colors are black, red, and white. But she made mine with rose gold because she loves me. So we love that for us. And yeah, just like a final note, Laura and I have had conversations about, because we stand so many groups and we follow so many groups that maybe we don't stand, how do we know that we're part of a fandom? And I think for us, at least for me, if I'm willing to spend money on them, I'm a fan. And I consider myself part of the fandom. So we have spent money on them. We have spent a lot of times and a lot of views. Like the amount of views that Laura has given to the Hyunjin Psycho fan cam, I think, are
it's a problem
enough to cover for like the whole year. Yeah. So we really, really, really do like them. So we do consider ourselves to be stays.
Yeah.
And
we have albums.
We have albums. We now have the light sticks that we just acquired. And we opened them yesterday, and we're going to do an unboxing video for you guys. So, yeah, we really like this group. This is a group to watch.
For sure.
They're going to do great things this year and moving forward. And I'm really looking forward to it.
Same.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the MIA2K podcast. We have lots of great content coming up ahead. So please don't forget to follow and subscribe to our show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And if you enjoyed our episodes, please rate us 5 stars.
And for the real-time tea, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook by searching for @MIA2K Podcast. Dale! Bye!